Good morning, good morning, good morning, one and all. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. I'm so glad that you're here. I see you coming in. I see you posting already. Good morning. Good morning, sis. I see you, Allie. Good morning. Listen, I'm going to ask that you guys share. But if you are just stumbling upon this broadcast for the very first time, you don't know what it's about, you don't know who the hell I am. I am Sue Webley. I'm the founder of Cara Solutions LLC, and we provide resources and services to help individuals and organizations navigate the virtual space with confidence. And so, Inspire is a live interview style broadcast on a mission to encourage, empower, and embolden individuals to create change in their personal lives, their communities, and in the world. And as our guests are the ones that we have on, our family that comes on. I'm so excited about my brother being on today. But as our guests, our entrepreneurs, influencers, creatives, and others share their testimonies, tips, and tools with us, we hope that you are inspired to elevate your mindset, pursue your dreams, and to do, as the late Dr. Katie Geneva Cannon put it so eloquently, the work your soul must have. We are live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And so I invite you to do this morning what I invite you to do every Saturday. I want you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. Connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We're at Cara Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube, at Cara Solutions on Twitter. And as always, you can head over to our website at www.cara-solutions. I didn't have my coffee yet, okay? I didn't even take a sip yet this morning. Cara-solutions.com. You can find out all about Cara Solutions, all about Inspire, and you can subscribe to our newsletter from our website. Also, I want to invite you again. I've been announcing over the last couple of weeks that we are expanding our scope of Inspire. And so we're building up those pages on social media. So please follow us, Inspired by Cara, on Facebook and on Instagram. If you want to listen later, we're on Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. We're Inspired by Cara on all of those platforms. So if you want to catch up on any of our previous broadcasts, you want to take it with you, listen to it in your car, head over to Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Look for us at Inspired by Cara on all of those platforms. And make sure that you follow us. So, you know the question I asked at the top of the morning, what you sipping on? What are you sipping on? What are you sipping on? I see you, Allie. I see you, Christopher Williams. I see you, Quita. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know I'm sipping on coffee. So what do you have in your cup? And I got joy in my cup this morning. So let me take a sip. All right. Now I can act right because I'm taking one sip of coffee. So what do you have in your cup? Is it coffee? Is it tea? Is it water? Is it apple juice? Is it orange juice? Is it smoothie? Is it something stronger? I'm not judging you. If you need something stronger in the morning, I'm not going to listen. It's evening time. Somewhere it's evening time. Okay. All right. I see you sipping on tea, Chris. It's so good to see you. I was telling Dave, I said, I can't wait to see y'all again so I can hug up on you again, because the last time we saw each other in person, it just wasn't long enough. Sis, Allie, what are you sipping on? I know you got coffee or something in that cup. Queenie, you have your Starbucks? Listen, tell me what you are sipping on. Tell me what you're sipping on. Okay, listen. So Allie is fancy with it this morning. All right, burdock root infused Bustelo with caramel macchiato and an extra shot of caramel. Okay, listen. Did you make it yourself? Did you boil the root yourself, Allie? Because you're not. Let me know if you boiled that root yourself, because I wouldn't put it past you. Listen, my sister is a naturalist. Okay, she will boil the root in a minute. Burdock root. I need to taste that. Hello, Carolyn. It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us here on Inspire. Yes, I know it is early. Listen, I am so grateful that you guys get up early on a Saturday morning to come hang out with me I know it's early, especially if we went hanging out last night. Elder Erica, it's so good to see you. Yeah, see, I knew it. Allie roasted that burdock root. Okay, see, I need your secrets. I need your secrets. Elder Erica said that that burdock root, we needed that extra shot. Well, I need to taste that. So I need your secrets. I need your secrets. But before we go further, I just, Tina Turner passed this week. And listen, whew, I don't know. Sometimes the people that the celebrities that we hold near and dear in our hearts, we just feel they're gonna live forever, right? And they do live forever. They live forever in our memories and our hearts and stuff like that. But Tina Turner, listen, if you're experiencing nirvana right now, because I know you were a Buddhist. You were not. She was not a Christian. People, let's stop putting her in heaven. Okay, she she was a Buddhist, and they believe in nirvana. So okay, so Tina Turner, I know you're experiencing nirvana right now, and I just want to say that you were simply the best. You were simply the best, and we thank you for all of the joy, um, and all of the passion that you brought into the world. We are going to miss you, but you will live on forever in your music. You will live on forever in your music. So thank you for all of what you brought to us, Tina Turner. So I just needed to do that. I don't know what the hell is going on in Florida. Listen, can we pray for Florida? I meant to have a graphic of Amanda Gorman. Well, the quote she said, and I thought I put it in here, but I didn't. So one parent could get my poetry banned from classrooms, and yet one country can't ban assault rifles from massacring them. Hello, what the hell? I just, yeah, I have no words. I have no words. Can we just pray for Florida and for our country? Like we are just living in this crazy time. We're living in this crazy time that I never thought I would see in my lifetime. It's no wonder so many of us are just jetting, like we're piecing out. We're leaving this country, right? Because it's ridiculous already, right? Because you don't want the children to learn the truth. um and I don't see any of these white books being banned. I mean, if there are, can write white written books being banned? Somebody could correct me, but I'm flabbergasted. So can y'all lift up Florida in prayer? Because yes, it is senseless. It really is. It really is. So anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. That DeSantis, yeah, I don't even want his picture to grace my platform. So I'm not gonna put his picture up because it's ridiculous. Hey, Pastor Eunice, it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. What are you drinking? What are you drinking, brother? Pastor Eunice, what are you drinking this morning? What are you sipping on? Quita says she got Starbucks cold brew almond milk and sugar-free vanilla. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right. We are going to yes, let's go. Praying for Florida. Yes, we are. We're going to move forward in our program this morning. Moulin tea. Moulin tea. All right. You got to tell me some more about that tea, Eunice. You got to tell me some more about that tea. Just Jules, Winston Jules, good morning. Listen, the people are coming in. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. We're getting ready to introduce our guest this morning, my dear brother. I'm so excited that he said yes, right? Dave Tony, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, all of the things. Just a fabulous human being all the way around. But I'm going to read his bio for you. So Dave Tony is a singer-songwriter born and raised in Harlem, New York. He has been singing since he was a young boy, and his soulful sound is sure to move you. His music tells stories of love, life, and everything in between. And when Dave takes the stage, he powerfully connects with his audiences. I know that for a fact. Okay, his voice is smooth and rooted in R&B and soul, but his sound is unique, and his performances are truly unforgettable. Dave has graced stages all over the United States and shared the stage with musical greats such as Patti LaBelle, Lady Gaga, and Crystal Waters. and has sung background for independent artists such as Naj. Is it Naj? I think it's Naj. You could yes, it is Naj. Crystal Monet Hall and many more. He is a true artist, and his music will touch your heart and soul. In 2017, Dave Tony released his debut album Life Lessons and his lead single Breaking Chains. The Life Lessons sound was influenced by Dave Tony's experiences as a son, husband, and member of the LGBT community and rooted in a neo-soul sound. Dave Tony believes in the healing power of music and its ability to affect change. His music and message is one of love, truth, inclusion, and justice for all. Dave Tony's most recently released his sophomore project, an EP called The Truth, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, which is an in-depth look into the life of Dave Tony and his oppressive religious upbringing. His first single, Turmoil, was released to much acclaim. Dave Tony is also the COO of Stilts Inc., the parent company of the international fashion brand Stilts Shoes, as well as the founder of Four Eyes Entertainment, an indie artist promotion and consultancy company. And so as we prepare to meet Dave this morning, let's take a look at his video for Turmoil.
Can identify my pain. No one can describe the way I feel. My heart is in a state of ache. I don't think it's ever gonna heal. These lies I've been told, how they torment my soul. Life is so filled with despair. These fallacies haunt me until I get old. No one but me seems to care. It's taking over my brain. Nothing can extinguish this flame. Knowing that my life has been a lie is something that I can't explain. Your religion on my heart, it crucifies, and faith is something I can't claim. I'm down to the wire, and my soul is so tired. Don't even know what I believe. Nowhere to turn for the truth. I do yearn. Think that it's time just to leave. It's taking over my brain. Nothing can extinguish this Nowhere to turn for the truth. I do yearn. Think that it's time just to leave. It's taking over my brain. Nothing can extinguish this flame. It's taking
Hey, brother.
Hi, good morning.
Good.
How are you?
I am well. Oh my gosh, that was so. whew, that song, that video was just so powerful. The cinematography was amazing, and the imagery. And
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you so much for sharing that with the world. We're going to talk about that a little bit later about about that song and the meaning behind it. But yeah, but let's get into our conversation. First of all, what are you sipping on?
I had me some throat coat tea in my hubby cup.
Listen, come on, hubby. Hey, Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, it's throat coat tea, and there's turmeric and cinnamon. Get this voice going in the morning 'cause it's early.
So if you're a singer out there, listen. That's that. So throat coat tea, turmeric,
Honey,
honey,
turmeric, honey, and cinnamon.
turmeric, honey, turmeric, honey, and cinnamon. Good, good, good. I see. Listen, the people are here strong to support you, brother.
Hi, I love you all. Thank you for coming.
Listen. Rivers is up in here heavy. Rivers is up in here heavy. I see some other folk too. Hi, Vince. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Bishop Bonnie Radden, I see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, listen, everybody is here. Everybody is here. Dr. Perry, I see you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Listen, we are here. We are up in here to support you. And I'm so grateful that all of you have joined us. So let's get into our conversation, brother. So
Yes,
you have such a soulful sound, right? And a powerful stage presence, right?
thank you.
And that has made you a standout artist. So for any of us who have been to any of Dave's performances, we know this. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. How did your upbringing in Harlem, New York, influence your musical style and shape your identity as a singer-songwriter?
Oh wow. So yeah, I was born and raised in Harlem, and Harlem was filled with music.
Mhm,
Coming up, there was always people either playing music, rapping in the park, or it was just filled with music.
mhm,
And my home was always filled with lots and lots of music. I come from a pretty musical family. My grandmother played the piano. My mom has beautiful singing voice. My dad, he sung. My sister is also a singer, and we used to get together and harmonize, with the family. So music was a really big part of my upbringing, growing up in Harlem. Yeah,
Ooh, yes, thank you so much. And so your music, it tells all of these stories, right? Of love and life and everything in between. And so what would you say inspires you to write such poignant and relatable songs, right? And what message or messages do you hope to convey through your music?
I think it is the responsibility of an artist to uh, um, to reflect the times, and that's a quote that came from the amazing and lovely one of my icons, the people who I really look to so much, and for God's sakes, her name just left my brain. But oh goodness, I can't remember the name. I guess because it's so early in the morning. But wonderful artist from the 60s, 70s. She wrote Feeling Good. Um, and Nina Simone, Jesus Christ, she said an artist ought to reflect the times. And I really do believe that. So I think it is the responsibility of the artist to write from a place that they're in, and hope that whatever that place is, that it would be applicable or inspirational for other people. So when I write and when I create music, I basically write from my own experiences, and I know that my experiences are not something that I have only gone through. So I'm always hopeful that my experiences can be a lesson to other people. And sometimes I write from experiences of other people as
Mhm.
well. So yeah, that's kind of like my process in creating the music.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Wanston. People are still coming in. It's so good to see you,
Hi.
Wanston. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hanging out with us this morning. So Dave, you shared the stage, and as you read in your bio, you shared the stage with musical greats like Patti LaBelle and Lady Gaga, right? So how have these experiences impacted your growth as an artist? And what would you say that you learned from collaborating with artists such as this?
Well, I think it has impacted my growth because when you're trying to create or operate in excellence, it's always great to be around people who have demonstrated that fact already.
Hmm.
And I tend to love to surround myself with people who have done a lot more than me, because I want to be growing. And so those experiences were amazing. I can remember specifically the Lady Gaga incident in which I was performing at a Pride rally. I want to say that was 2000, maybe 14, 15, singing background for another artist named Naj. And he was doing the big Pride rally, and Lady Gaga was the guest of honor. And she stayed. She was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna perform," and she stayed behind so that she could hear what we were doing, and it was just an amazing experience to be in her presence. She was very, very encouraging.
Hmm.
So yeah, I take things from those people, and I apply it to myself, because I always want to be growing and getting better. And those people have done it and done it well. And
Yeah.
so to grow as an artist or even as an individual, I think you should always surround yourself with people who are in your same vein and are doing it and who have done it so that you have something to glean from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. If you're just joining us, we are speaking with Dave Tony, singer songwriter and entrepreneur, and all around amazing human being.
Oh, I
So
love
thank you
you.
again. Thank you for joining us, y'all. Make sure that you are sharing. Hey, Job Hand Nation, I see you. Listen, the people are coming in, and I'm so grateful. So we know that like you have such a smooth voice, right? This kind of just dripping, dripping, dripping,
Oh.
right? That's rooted in R&B and soul, but you also bring like this really unique sound to the table. So how would you describe your musical style? And what are the elements that you believe set you apart from other artists in the genre?
That question is always a little bit difficult for me to describe my sound, because I really feel like my sound is sort of like a fusion of a lot of different things. Uh, you previously I had released the album back in 2017 called Life Lessons, and that album was very neo soul, probably in the vein of like Jill Scott and Erica Badu, and that kind of, because that's the kind of music that I really, really do love. But I realized that even though that's the kind of music I love, that was not really my voice. That was me, emulating what I love. And I think it's important as an artist to find your own voice. And so with this project I released now, I definitely have found my own voice. And I would say that music is, even though it's rooted in R&B and definitely rooted in gospel, because that is a grounding for me, it is very much alternative and rocky. If you ever been to any of my recent live shows, I just did a show a few days ago, Truth Revealed, very rock inspired kind of concert. So I would say my sound now is definitely more like edgy and, influenced by classic rock music. Yeah.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions for Dave, be sure to post them. I'll make sure that he'll have the opportunity to answer them before we end today. So you brought up the truth, which is a great segue into my next question. So your latest project, right? The truth, right? It was
Yes.
released when October last year,
November
November of last year,
on my
right?
birthday. Yeah.
On your birthday, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that EP it delves into your oppressive religious upbringing. And so we, some of us that know you personally know about you always share stories about your upbringing.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about your your religious upbringing, and then what motivated you to explore that this particular aspect of your life through music, right? Go ahead.
Right. So, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness. And if anyone doesn't know anything about that religion, some religions is just something that you do on Sunday. You go to church on Sunday and you have a community, and then you go home and you have a normal, regular life. But as a Jehovah's Witness, it is a religion that governs and controls every aspect of your life. So you are literally a Jehovah's Witness in every place that you go. So, in school, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate the holidays. So in school, if there's any kind of like, Easter parties, birthday parties, Christmas inspired parties, you're not allowed to participate in that. And so that was something that was kind of a really a weight for me as a child. I enjoyed being there because it was all I knew, but it still was very much a weight to be different from everybody else, to not be able to engage in all the things that the other kids were engaging in. And then it's this level of guilt that's placed upon you if you're not progressing in the way that they feel that you are to progress. And so I was pretty much forced to throw myself into it, knocking on doors, giving out watchtowers. I mean, I did that my whole entire childhood, all the way up into early adulthood. uh, and it is definitely a religion that is very weighty. And then when you don't follow what it is that they say you're supposed to follow, they have a process that's called disfellowshipping, and they will remove you from all contact with anyone else that's a Jehovah's Witness, and that includes your family. So I've watched, instances in which, like, my mom was disfellowshipped at one point, and people who were friends of hers for 30 years will walk by her in the street as if she was a total stranger. I've seen the religion separate my family where, sisters don't speak to each other for 15 years at a time. And so it is a really oppressive structure, and that's what I was raised up under. And so I decided when I was creating this project to talk about that, because even though I'm really, really, really far removed from that part of my life, my life now is nowhere near close to anything like that. I lead a pretty peaceful, non, I don't have any judgment or any drama. That's the kind of life I lead. But I felt that it was, even if people didn't experience that specific kind of oppression, I thought it was very important to note that there is a way to go from oppression to freedom, because I've done it. And so if I can do it, it can be done by others as well. And again, as I said before, I really believe that it is a musician's and artist's responsibility to reflect the times and also be make music that is relatable, that people can say, hey, I can do it too. So all I ever want to do is encourage folk. And so that was what led to me writing the music for the truth.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so when people in the comments like, wow, we didn't know that about the Jehovah's Witness. Vince said that used to be me. Bishop Bonnie says, religion always separates. Please speak truth to power. Vince said that was their same experience. Yes, yes, Pastor Joyce, oppression to free. Whew, that was good. That was an orphan passing orphan play passing moment right there, from oppression to freedom. How did you break free?
Well, I think because I am, a gay man, that was my out. I really don't know that if I was not, that I would have gotten out, or it may have taken me a whole lot longer to wake up. And so because I am a gay man, and that was something that I could not fight against, and I knew who I was at a very early age. Even though I wasn't operating in it at an early age, I knew who I was. And so that was my way out. And my mom, she was not having it. you know, uh, she was like, this is not, Jehovah's not pleased with
Mhm.
this. And, you know, I couldn't live in her home and be myself. And so I became homeless
Wow.
and, um, lived in the or lived in the street for a period of time. I think I had given this testimony a bit in one of the sermons I had preached at Rivers about the fact that I slept in Columbus Circle and washed my body in Time Warner Mall and stole food to eat. And so, you know, I think that what got me from oppression to freedom is nothing but the divine, nothing but God. People who have experienced some of the same things that I experienced found themselves stuck there, and not finding a way out. But I know that God was always surrounding me and holding me up. And it's funny that the same a thing that oppressed me is what freed me, because I grew up in a religious structure, but what it did teach me was to have a connection to God. And so, even though I left oppressive religion, I never left God. And God was always with me. And so I kept that. And even though I was in the midst of a struggle, people never would have known because I kept a smile on my face. And I was genuinely still happy, even in the midst of my trial. I really was. I didn't fake the funk because God was with me and I felt him with me. I felt the divine. I felt her with me. And so yeah, that was my way out.
Listen, I and so that is such a powerful message, right? For anyone who has experienced similar or currently going through something like that, that God is with you,
Amen.
right? And there's so many that don't know that because listen, that's a
Yeah,
listen. Ali
don't
said
take
that's a
much.
shot right there. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Indeed.
is a shot right there because and so that message right there, that God is with you, God is with us, right? That's something that I think is important for folk to know, um, because oftentimes, particularly when it's connected to faith or religion, or we often, uh, those of us who have been pushed out, disconnected, ostracized, all of that,
Hmm.
we don't feel that God is with us. We feel that
Yep.
God is against us, right? And so it's important for us to know that God is always for us. God is always
Right.
with us, and God
Yes.
is always for us,
Yes, indeed. And
right?
I've what I've realized is that oftentimes we put on God what human beings do.
Yes.
We blame God for what people do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
God is not responsible for the actions of other people.
Come
We have
on.
free will. And
Yes.
so people choose to conduct themselves and treat you in a way that they want to treat you, and that is their own decision.
Yeah.
And yes, we are affected by that, but even in the midst of that, God is still carrying us from glory to glory, from pain to pain, and
Yeah.
through to our destiny. Yes, I
Yeah.
truly believe that.
Ooh. Thank you so much for sharing. So before we go to break, let's talk a little bit about turmoil, which is what we opened up with. If you guys got here late, you missed that video. So I want you to go back at the end of the broadcast and replay it so you can see this powerful video, turmoil, which is off of that truth, the truth EP. And so, of course, looking at the imagery, there is, and listen to the lyrics. It is connected to religion, right? In some ways. And so, can you give us a little bit more insight into that song's meaning, and what significance does it hold within the context of the entire Truth EP?
So Turmo was the first song I wrote for the EP. It was really difficult for me to write that song because it's difficult to write songs that are about a pace of pain when you're just no longer in that place anymore. And
Mm.
I'm not in that place. I'm so far removed from there. And so it took me to go back to that place. But then what it helped me to realize is that there were still spaces internally that I needed to heal. And so as I was writing that as inspirational as I wanted it to be for other people, it also was a healing for me. And it was just about a song to recognize the space in which you're in, because I think from time to time we always rush to get through and past the pain.
Mm.
We're
Mhm.
just like, oh, someone dies. Oh, joy comes in the morning. Well, we still in the night, and we
Come
don't
on.
we don't take the time to acknowledge it and to acknowledge the pain, and so we move past it so quickly and don't realize how much, even though outwardly it's not showing, it's affecting us internally.
Yeah.
And so that song Turmoil was a, a ode to my pain, the pain that I felt, the pain I felt that oppressive religion, brought upon me.
Mhm.
And so where it fell in the EP, because the EP itself is 5 tracks, and so each song is like my journey through. And a Turmoil was the place in which I had finally realized, hey, this is not the space for me.
Mm.
And I felt angry because I felt like I had been lied to and that I had wasted a significant portion of my youth, putting my everything into something that was not true. And
Wow.
and the Jehovah's Witnesses, they call the religion, when they refer to it internally, they refer to it as the truth. They'll say, "Oh, are you in the truth?" That just
Mm.
means, are you following the ways of a Jehovah's Witness? And so, that was me, Turmoil, finding my own truth, and that truth was pain for me.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. Whew. I'm so enjoying our conversation with you, Dave. We're gonna take a quick break for you to take a sip of your tea.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll be right back with more conversation with Dave Tony. So again, I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We're at Carrot Solutions LLC on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. We're at Carrot Solutions on Twitter. And as always, you can head over to our website at www.carrot-solutions.com. Don't forget that hyphen in the middle. You can find out all about Carrot Solutions and Inspire, and also subscribe to our newsletter so that you don't miss anything that's coming up with Inspire. We also want you to follow us. Again, I'm expanding the scope of Inspire to include workshops and all of these other offerings. And so please follow us on at Inspired by Kara on Facebook and Instagram. Again, you can listen later on Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Or if you want to catch up on all of our previous episodes, you can find them on Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or simply if you want to go into the video sections of any of my Facebook page or the Kara Facebook page, you can find them there too. But if you want to take it with you, go to these podcasting platforms and you can find us at Inspired by Kara on all of those platforms, all of them. All right. If you're an entrepreneur, influencer, creator for other individual on a mission to inspire others like we are, we want you to be our guest. We want you to be our guest. If you know someone else that would be a great fit for Inspire, we want to know about them. Tell us about them, right? So visit us again at the website, www.cara-solutions.com/inspire, or email us at inspire@cara-solutions.com. Listen, there's so many people out there that's working to make real change in their lives, in their communities, and in the world. And we want to see all of them here on Inspire. If you've been missing it, listen. So this is about next week. This graphic will be updated, but if you have been missing Lunchtime Live on Instagram, you're missing a lot. Okay, I need you to save. Listen, put on your calendar Wednesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, Lunchtime Live. It was Sue and the crew, so that includes Bishop-elect Vanessa and Reverend Tanya. And we have been talking about some stuff. We talked about imposter syndrome. For the past 2 weeks, we talked about releasing the weight of other people's opinions and expectations. And this Wednesday, we're going to talk about reimagining the church. Like, what is the church? What is the church now? What and what is the church really supposed to be? So we're going to have this conversation on Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time on Instagram. So please mark your calendars. Mark your calendars for that. And so I see y'all commenting. Yes, definitely missing a lot. Listen, we are going to get back into our conversation with Dave to wrap this up. And here's some words of encouragement as we head back into our conversation with Dave Tony.
It's time to move. You're in a position now where you're being affected all around, but you're staying in that place that's almost drowning you. Some of you probably can't even breathe sometimes because you feel like you're being suffocated because you stayed in places that were only meant for you to stay for a short time, and you stayed too long. Listen, it's time to move. Change is required. And if you want to live to your fullest potential, you got to move. Don't stay in places long that you've outgrown. It's like putting on clothes that are 2 sizes too small. It's not going to fit. And those places that you're staying in, they don't fit you anymore. You've outgrown them. Destiny is over here calling you, but you're so comfortable where you are that you're afraid to move. But I speak courage to you today. Don't allow fear of change to be your demise. It's time to move. Be encouraged, man.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
This is yet another offering plate passing moment. Whew. It's time to move. I don't know who that was for. I know it was for somebody.
Well, when I said it, it was for me.
Listen, but it's time to move. Recognize the places that you have outgrown, right? And I love that you use the analogy of having clothing that's two sizes too small. Like when you literally feel when you've outgrown a place.
Yep.
You feel it in your body, not only in your mind, spirit, but you feel it physically. It's this constriction, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, listen, for those of you out there that's listening right now, or will catch this in the replay, or will hear this on one of the podcast platforms, you listen to it in the ear, it's time to move. If you know it's time to move, then that was your confirmation right there. Thank you so much for listen. You're just so amazing.
Oh, I
Brother,
love
you're
you.
so amazing. We're so glad that he belongs to Rivers. So none of y'all can have him. He belongs to him. So let's talk about your entrepreneurship. So outside of your music career, right? You're also the COO of Stilts Inc. Shout out to Christopher Williams. Shout out to hubby, right? And we're gonna have him on Inspire really soon. But you're also the COO of Stilts Incorporated, the parent company of the international fashion brand Stilts Shoes. How do you balance your responsibilities as a husband, right? Your responsibilities in the music industry and in the fashion world, and how do these worlds ever intersect in your creative process?
Oh, so I'll start from the end and answer backwards. So yes, they do intersect because my husband is the CEO of Stilt Shoes Incorporated, and we're the kind of couple that we do everything together, business wise. I mean, as much as I support him in the operation of his company, he supports me in my artistry, and not just with words, but with action. So if you see a production I put on, most of the behind the scenes stuff got done because Chris did it.
Mm.
He makes me look good. Okay, and he's good at doing that. And so they intersect all the time in which, he'll be styling me, for photo shoots and things like that. And therefore, I'm using and promoting the products that he designs. And, I'm helping him put together his different endeavors, whether it be fashion shows, pop up shops, and all the other kind of stuff. So they intersect all the time.
Yeah.
Now, balance. Oh, man. I'm still finding it. I'm still finding the balance because. Um, I think I'm not used to being this busy. And on top of that, I have a full-time job. and so
Yes.
it's a lot, to find the time to be able to do everything and get everything done. But Chris and I are really intentional about spending time together that has nothing to do with business.
Hmm.
There's not a week that goes by that we are not out or even just in enjoying ourselves and each other. Um, and so I think that's really important, when you're in business with your significant other. You can't just be all business all the time. Or
Right.
work and no play makes Jack a really dull boy. And
Yeah.
I likes to be bright. I don't
We're all
want
bright.
polish me up. Yeah. So honestly, we're still finding the balance, and we're hopeful that you know, the entrepreneurial endeavors uh, will be what takes care of us in the long run, so that we can let go of everything else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And so you're also the founder of Four Eyes Entertainment, right?
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
this is an indie artist promotion and consultancy company, and you're
Yes.
dedicated to supporting and uplifting fellow artists. So how do you
Absolutely.
strive to make a difference in the lives of independent musicians, and what challenges have you encountered along the way?
Okay, so Full House Entertainment started off when I first did it. It started off as like an independent record label, and I had a few artists under uh, the vein of Four Eyes Entertainment, um, in which one released a full length album, and other released a few singles, and I was able to put on showcases for them with live bands and pay them. And make
Mhm.
sure, because I believe that artists ought to get paid. And so, my aim was to say, hey, I'm doing it, so I believe that I could support you in doing it and have, your artistry be something that feeds you,
Yeah,
financially. And so that was my goal. And I'm happy to say I was able to do that to,
yeah,
some degree. But it's really difficult, you're working with people, and sometimes you have, differences of opinion, and you've got, personality differences, and that's just part of life, and that
yeah,
happens. And so it has shifted from being a full-on record label in which I'm investing everything I have in the artist, to
mm,
being basically more of a consultancy company in which I help to support artists when they need help to get, the information that they need, and point them in
mhm,
the right direction.
yeah,
And I think that music and art is something that really is important, not only to the culture but to the psychological mind. And so that is my way of helping to change the world through music. That if enough, a lot of things separates us, but
mhm,
music holds us together.
yes,
And so if we can get enough artists that are talking about things that really matter, I'm all for a good party. Oh Lord, if you know me, I likes to party.
yes,
But 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 I feel like it's important that, within that same system, that we be speaking to the things that really matter. And so, it is always my goal to help artists to get to that space and to that place.
wonderful, wonderful. Hey, Sir Isaac Nelson. I see people are still coming in. Thank you so much again for joining us. If you just joined us, we are talking with the phenomenal Dave Tony. And again, if you have any questions for Dave, feel free to post them, and we'll see if we'll get one or two in before we end in the next 5 minutes. So you, so of course you're an artist, right? Who openly
Yes.
identifies as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. And
Mhm.
so, how has this part, how has that part of your journey shaped your music, and how do you connect, and how you connect with your audience?
Well, you know, I always say that me being LGBT is literally just one part of me,
Hmm.
and it is not something that really governs everything about me. I
Yeah,
mean, I am a whole individual, I'm multifaceted. And so, yes, I do identify, as a gay man and as part of the LGBT community, but it really does not govern my music.
hmm,
Um, I don't think it governs it at all. There's certain artists in which that is a major factor
right,
in their music, but for me, it's not a major factor. Of course, because I am the music that I create will relate to who I am as a person, and so that's probably the only connection that my sexuality has with my music.
yeah,
It's not as if I'm just like, hey, gay, 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 and I am openly proud of that, but I
yeah.
just feel like it is just not something that governs the music for me, at
Hmm.
least.
Thank you for sharing. And so you just had this phenomenal concert. Can we call it a concert?
It was a yes.
Which I'm so upset that I missed, because of course I'm out here in Chicago.
Yeah.
But what is coming up next? Like what are some of the projects that you have coming up? Some of the initiatives, whether in music or in your entrepreneurial space.
I'm currently working on like a artist documentary because I feel like I need to further tell my story,
Yeah.
both through music and through visuals. I'm working on a music video for one of my next single on my album, which is called Monotony. So that's in the works. And also an entrepreneurial ground we'll be doing for us entertainment. We'll be doing some showcases and gathering some independent artists soon to do some stuff like that. And then on the stilts level, we're working on a pop-up shop that should be coming soon, a new collection. So yeah, it's a whole bunch. Yeah, yeah, and it's just us. People often think that we have this huge team, but we are the team. And yeah, so we're just trying to make it happen.
Listen, you are making it happen. You're not
Mm.
trying, you are definitely making it happen. Can you please tell our listeners how to connect with you? Where can we find you?
Uh, all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Dave Tony Music. And if you look at if you just click on it, any hashtag that says "I am a truth teller," it'll be all me. I am a truth teller. That's my hashtag. I am a truth teller. Um, and you can find me at my website, www.davetony.com. I have merchandise on there, Dave Tony merchandise that available for purchase. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right. Well, thank you, brother, for joining us today. This has been such an amazing conversation. And I know it's early, but I want you to go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day
Yes.
and the rest of your weekend. Thank you again. And we will have you back. We will have you back. And Christopher, I know you're out there watching. We're gonna have you, we'll have you on soon, because we want the world to know. I mean, listen, you guys are doing such amazing things with stilts, and so we want the world to know about it, at least our listeners. I know the world knows a little bit about it already, but we want our listeners to know about it too. So thank you again, Toby. Thank you, brother.
Thank you
And
for
I look
having me.
forward to having you back on
Yes,
Inspire soon.
indeed. This has been a family affair. I
Yes,
told
it
you.
has. Yes, it has. Can't wait to see you again in person so we can hug each
Indeed.
other up.
Yes.
Love you so much.
I
Love
love you
you so
too.
much.
All
God bless
right.
you. That was such an amazing conversation with Dave. And I need for you guys to share, right? Share, share, share. Somebody needs to hear some of these words that he shared with us, some of that wisdom that Dave shared with us today. I want to make sure that you join us next week. Listen, Inspire celebrates Pride Month. Inspire celebrates Pride Month. So, all next month, we're going to be talking with individuals who have organizations who are doing big things uh, in the world as it pertains to pride. And so we want you to join us next week, Saturday, June 3rd. Our guest will be Carmen Neely, and she's the president and CEO of Holland Pride and another a whole lot of other initiatives. But I didn't want to fit them all on the flyer. I need you to come next week so you can hear all about Carmen and the amazing work that she is doing on behalf of LGBTQ plus people in Harlem and in New York as as a whole, right? So come on next week and join us. So that is it. That is it. Thank you again for joining. Let me just see. I love you too. I love you too, Chris. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. It's been a great time with you on this early morning. I want you to have a safe, those of you who don't have to work Monday, enjoy your 3-day weekend. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. Have a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful weekend. And until we meet next week, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. But most of all, I want you to stay inspired. I look forward to seeing you next week.